Myself, Dr. Abrar Ahmed, Head Department of Mathematics, JN College, Dhurwa. In my previous lecture, I have explained you about the groups. Now, today I will present the lecture on the subgroup. This is for again the semester 3 students and the paper number is C6. So first we will define the subgroup. In this paper, I have already completed the group, and today I will complete the subgroup, and then in the next lecture I will complete the cyclic group. So this is the lecture number 2 in this portion, the group theory. Now what is subgroup? Now the question arises, what is subgroup? The definition is, let G be the group and H a subset of G, then H is called to be a subgroup of G if H is a group under the group operation of G. Under the group operation of G. In this definition, it is very clear that group G itself a group, and also the identity group consisting of the identity element only is also a group. These two groups, the group G and the set consisting of the only identity element, is also a group. This set E and the group G, these two groups are called trivial subgroups. Now I give you some examples of subgroups. Suppose example 1. The set of integers I is an additive group. The set E of even integers is the subset of I and is a group under addition. So it is very clear E is a subgroup of I. E is a subgroup. Now example 2. The set Q of rational number is a group under addition. The set I of integers is a subset of Q, is group under addition. So hence I is a subgroup of Q. Example 3. The set R of real numbers is a group under addition. The set of rational number is a subset of R, is a group under addition. So we can clearly say Q is a subgroup of R. Example 4. The set of real numbers is a subgroup of additive group of complex number. Example 5. The set of non-zero rational number is a subgroup of the multiplicative group of non-zero real numbers. There are many more examples, but these examples for your homework, and you can go through these examples whatever the book is prescribed in your syllabus. Now there are one theorem which is very important regarding the subgroup. Let G be a group and H a non-subset of G, then H is a subgroup of G if and only if condition number 1, for every A belongs to H, B belongs to H, this implies AB belongs to H. That is condition 1, H is closed under the given operation, and condition 2, for all H belongs to H, the inverse of A, that is A inverse, also belongs to H. Proof. In this way I can do this example. The proof of the theorem consists 2 parts. The first part consists in showing that if H is a subgroup of G, the condition 1 and 2 are true. And the second part consists in showing, and if the condition 1 and condition 2 holds good, then H is a group and hence a subgroup of G. So there are 2 conditions, that is one necessary condition and sufficient condition. The first part of the theorem follows from the fact that H is a given to the group under the group operation of G. Now since H is a group, therefore for all AB belongs to H, we have AB belongs to H, and the first condition is satisfied. Also for A belongs to H, we have A inverse belongs to H, the second condition is also satisfied. Then H is a subgroup of G. Here condition 1 and 2 are satisfied, Hence the first part of the theorem is proof. Now the second part, that is sufficient condition. In order to prove the second part of the theorem, we must show that S is a group under the operation of G. We shall show with the given two conditions S satisfies all the four postulates of the group. Number 1, we are given that for all AB belongs to H, AB belongs to H, and hence the first postulate is satisfied. H is associative because H is a subset of G which is associative. So number 2, if X belongs to H, then because of the condition 2, X inverse belongs to H, the fourth postulate is also satisfied. Again, we have by 2 X inverse belongs to H, that is identity E belongs to H. Hence the identity element of H is necessarily E. Thus we see that H satisfies the four postulates of a group, hence it is a subgroup. The condition 1 and 2 of the theorem can be replaced by the single condition. That is in this way. Let G be a group and H is a non-empty subset of G, then H is a subgroup if and only if A belongs to H, B belongs to H, implies AB inverse belongs to H. This theorem you can prove in this way. We shall prove the theorem in two parts. First, we are going to prove the condition is sufficient. In order to prove the condition is sufficient, we shall prove that if A belongs to H, B belongs to H, implies AB inverse belongs to H. Then H is a group. In this condition, we should remember that if H belongs to H, then A belongs to G, since H is a subset of G, given that A belongs to H, B belongs to H, implies AB inverse belongs to H. Existence of identity. In this relation, taking B equal to A, we get A belongs to H, B belongs to H, implies A inverse belongs to H, where A inverse is the inverse of A. This implies E belongs to H, where E is the identity, so postulate 3 is satisfied. Now again, for the existence of inverse, again let A belongs to H, then E belongs to H, A belongs to H. This implies E A inverse belongs to H, that is A inverse belongs to H. Thus if A belongs to H, then inverse also belongs to H. This means meaning thereby postulate 4 is satisfied. Now the closure property, A belongs to H, B inverse belongs to H. This implies A and the B inverse of whole inverse belongs to H, that is AB belongs to H. So postulate 1 is satisfied. The binary operation G is associative. The condition is necessary. Forget about the binary operation. The condition is necessary. We shall prove the condition is necessary. We prove that if H is a subgroup and AB belongs to H, then AB inverse belongs to H. Given that H is a group and B belongs to H, then B inverse belongs to H. Also therefore, according is the first postulate, AB inverse belongs to H, since H is a group. Thus the above condition has been to be the necessary condition. In the same way, now we can also prove the associative in case of sufficient condition, that the G is associative, and since it is a subset of G, it must be associative, and then H is also postulate 2 is satisfied. In this way, there are many theorems to be proved, but I left this for your exercise. Suppose example some theorem I explain you. A non-empty subset H of a finite subgroup G is a subgroup if and only if A belongs to H and B belongs to H, AB belongs to H. Another theorem, if H1 and H2 be two subgroups of a group G, then H1 intersection H2 is also be subgroup. But in case of union, it is not true. If H1 and H2 are two subgroups of G, then union of two subgroups need not be a subgroup. There are some examples. The set of all elements X of a group G such that Ax equal to Ax A for every element of J is a subgroup of G. And there are another example. The union of two subgroups is a subgroup if and only if it is contained in the other. So, my dear students, these are the all details about the subgroup, and I hope you understand what is group, what is subgroup, and I will try to explain you and let you understand the cyclic group in my next lecture. So in my next lecture I will explain what is the cyclic group, and I will give the definition of the cyclic group, and I will give the examples of the cyclic group, some theorems of the cyclic groups, and the order of a group and order of an element of a group. Thank you very much.